Ladies and gentlemen, as if life couldn't get any better, it's time once again for the Pipe Podcast with my man, Crispin, Cruz, and the Deej. I can't believe they're letting us do this again. Isn't this awesome?
It's so awesome.
I can't believe it. Hey, why don't you tell everybody what the Pipe Podcast is?
Why do you keep pushing that over to me? I already
Because
know.
you won't remember.
I know. It's prospecting.
Yes.
We talk about sales initiatives. We talk about sales process, and we talk about experiences. That's what we talk about.
You nailed it. And it should be fun the whole way through.
That's right.
They let us back in the studio.
They did. They did. We're back. We're back again. They didn't throw us out.
Oh, no, this is great.
I know.
You know what happened on the break?
What happened? Tell me.
I got a call from my son.
Oh.
Yeah, so you might know, so Matthew has a little junk removal business. I shouldn't say little. Matthew has a junk removal business. He's 21 now and things are going well, but he had to fire his first real employee today, or let his real employee go. And he had all the right reasons and the person, all that stuff. But you know what he did?
What? Tell me.
He asked me, what should I say? And so I say, like I say everything, we have to script it out.
That's it.
We have to plan out what we're going to say. Not only what you're going to say, but what you expect them to reply with,
right,
and how you're going to respond to that.
Right.
So we scripted out the whole thing. I don't know how it worked out yet. We'll find out later.
It's brilliant.
But it's like the same thing in marketing when you're trying to get customers, when you're trying to get prospects. You need to know what you're going to say and just kind of predict how they're going to respond so you can come back with it.
You know what? That's a great segue into our topic today.
Almost like it was planned.
I know, but if the listeners only knew, none of this is planned, right? I mean, it's like, oh, let's just come up with this list of topics and then let's Deej and Crispin talk about it. So today's topic, 5 ways to get to your decision maker. So I'm sure that somewhere in there we're going to talk about scripting. I'm sure that somewhere in there we're going to talk about prospecting. I think we should start with prospecting because it's my favorite.
Well, so there's 5. We're just choosing 5.
We're just choosing 5. There might be more than 5. Just to make sure that everybody's clear.
One of them might be, abduct them.
Yeah.
That might be one.
Yeah.
But it's probably not good.
Probably not. Yeah. No. Or hold them ransom.
Yes,
hold them for ransom. That's probably another one.
Stalking.
Yeah, probably not a good one.
That's right.
Because somebody I'm picturing these people, listening to the podcast or actually, seeing clips from it, and then they're putting little comments at the bottom saying, "Oh, there's only 5."
That's right.
Because there's that one person out there. There's that one person out there that's like, "Oh, you only came up with 5, or you only think that there's 5."
It's true because we mocked about that stalking thing, but I mean, every guy in high school kind of stalked somebody. I mean,
no, I don't think that's true.
You didn't?
I don't know.
No, you never got caught on the roof of a building across the street from a restaurant where she was going to eat with somebody else.
Oh, Dan,
and spied on her with binoculars on the way.
I think we might want to talk about that outside of this.
That's right.
Because there may be some things we need to uncover or explore there. Emotionally, psychologically, if you think that's kind of the case.
It's funny. As your kids get older, you start having different conversations around the dinner table.
Yeah,
and you're reminded of more embarrassing things that you did, and now they're more comfortable talking about it.
That's right. Okay, we digress.
All right, so why don't you list off the 5 that you want to talk about, and I will dig deeper into them for the benefit of the car buying public that's watching.
That's very good.
Okay.
So I want to start with prospecting because I think that's that's a big one, and it's also one that people just don't do.
Prospecting is broad. You're talking about outbound contacting people who don't know who you are.
Thank you for that definition, because that's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I thought.
Because some people think that prospecting is, buying a list.
No, it's new business. It's actually going out, actually physically picking up the phone, dialing the phone, trying to get, a new company to buy your product or service. Right. I mean, that's what it is.
And how, what do you say? Well, actually, what do you say? I mean, if you're talking to somebody cold like that, what do you say?
Yeah. So first of all, you script it.
Aha.
So now all of a sudden we came right back around.
It's full circle.
Right? Because if you don't have a plan, I mean, how many times have you said, okay, I'm going to do this. I have this goal, but you've failed miserably because you didn't put in a plan. I mean, so you have to have a plan, right?
So you're a fan of scripting.
A big fan. And so scripting gets that's a bad word, okay. in a lot of sales people's minds, because all of a sudden it's a very easy leap to go from scripting to telemarketer. And nobody wants to feel like or sound like a telemarketer. So a lot of sales professionals out there, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to sound like the telemarketer dialing for dollars. That's not what it's about. Scripting is having triggers in a script that help to increase the engagement with you and your prospect. So that's really the key. Is there's these foundational triggers in your scripting, and it's your vernacular, your words, okay? And you develop it, but we just give you tools to help you make sure that you're maximizing on the engagement with your prospect. And at the end of the day, you're trying to figure out whether or not there's a compelling reason for them to buy your product or service. That's it. I mean, and if you don't do it the right way, and you don't practice it, and you're not continuously revising your script, which we call actually working on your craft. Okay.
Right.
All right. And you don't continue to do that, then you're not going to get better, but you have to start somewhere. So we start with that nasty word, that naughty word script, that a lot of salespeople want. More excuse making for them is, in my opinion, more excuse making for them. Well, I don't want to sound like the car salesman. I don't want to sound like the telemarketer. I'm not wearing my plaid jacket with my plaid pants today, right? I mean, and you got to get them away from that thought process, because what we're talking about is a tool that's going to make you more effective as long as you perform the right behaviors, as long as you're practicing, as long as you're trying to sharpen your skill at every moment.
It's true. If you practice, you sound more natural. You sound more professional.
That's right.
Than you would if you were just winging it.
Right.
Because that's the opposite of a script, just winging it.
Right.
Doing it different every time and not being able to prove. But any actor, I think it was you who told me that you were devastated when you realized that Robert Downey Jr. wasn't really Iron Man.
Oh, I was devastated.
Right.
I thought Robert Downey, he had that big, house on the hill in California. Yeah. He had the cool car. He could fly. I was like, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. And then somebody told me, wait a second.
Yeah, he was acting.
He's acting. He's just playing a role.
He was acting. And every word was written for him.
Yeah.
He didn't do that thing. So, okay.
I was devastated.
So I'm a fan of scripting with you. We're back on the same page. But let me ask you this question, because this is important.
This should be good.
What's a tool what's a quick way for you that people can use to engage? You said engagement was very big with the person on the other side of the phone. Real quickly, how can you get that kind of back and forth thing?
I'm going to let you talk this time, because you know what? You are the master at it, first of all, and you practice and you cold call and prospect for Sales Arbiter every day. You've made it a part of your it's a habit for you now. I mean, if you don't start your day that way, then you feel like you've lost something. So I'd like to toss that back to you for a minute. And it's not because I'm avoiding the question. I'll be happy to answer it. But I really think, if there is somebody in this room right now that has mastered that skill
of engagement.
Yes. It's the Deej.
So I thank you for that. So yes, it is engagement is probably the most important thing, because here's what I learned. If you're cold calling on phone, because you can do it in person, or you can do it in a networking event if you don't know somebody, it's just a cold call is simply just introducing yourself to someone who doesn't know you.
Mm-hmm.
talking to strangers. That's what I used to tell my kids when they were little. Hey, go out and talk to strangers.
Right.
I would do the opposite. Talk to strangers. Every friend I ever had in this world was a stranger before I met them.
Right.
So it's the same thing. Guys, talk to strangers. And what I learned on the phone especially is that nobody, in the history of the world, nobody will hang up on you while they're talking.
That's right.
And so the main thing to get engagement is to ask questions. And the quickest way to do that is just to, so let's role play.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to ring, 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 and you say, hello, this is Cruz.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Ring, ring, ring.
Hello, this is, I screwed it up. Am I supposed to say my name right there?
Yeah, whatever.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Can we try again?
Yes. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello, this is Cruz. How can I help you?
Cruz?
Yes.
See, I forced you to respond to me.
That's right.
Because all I did was ask, I just repeated what you said and asked the question, and you said yes. Now, let's say you answered the phone, hello, Sales Arbiter, okay?
All right.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello, Sales Arbiter. May I help you?
Sales Arbiter?
Yes.
Boom! Did it again. So all you have to do to get somebody, because you know what that's called when
What?
you say something and they say something back?
Tell me.
A conversation.
There we go. There we go. I would have never guessed
And
it.
so you got to start just asking questions. So really quick, get to the point to ask questions.
Now, I made a little joke at the beginning. I said,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, what was I supposed to do?" Like
Yeah.
I knew. I heard you. Okay,
That's right.
I heard what you said. You said when you answer the phone, say Cruz.
Right.
And then I didn't do it on
That's right.
purpose because I was making a joke. But here's the thing.
Bastard, that's why.
Tool number 2. Tool number 2, active listening.
Amen.
And if you don't turn up your active listening ears, and these babies aren't on 10 when you're dialing that phone and you're putting the receiver up to your face and you're putting the cell phone up to your face, I'm telling you right now, you're losing. Because if there are two, components, the most important two components that can make you a better salesperson, here it is. Active listening and asking questions.
Boom.
Active listening and asking questions.
So let me ask you this. Most people, when they ask questions, are just waiting for the person to end so they could talk again. What should somebody really do when somebody, when they ask a question?
Listen with the intent to listen. Do not listen with the intent to reply. I'm going to say it again. Listen with the intent to listen. Don't listen with the intent to reply. There's a big difference.
Okay, we need a dramatic pause after you say that, okay? So say it one more time and then silence.
Can I just go silent now?
No, but because then
It won't work.
Because then I will have.
Oh, then you'll have to.
Yeah. So you go ahead. So say it because that was so good. I need the time to write it down.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Listen with the intent to listen. Don't listen with the intent to reply. And that is, I still did it.
You keep
I
breaking
can't
up
do
the
it.
pause.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you still have your time now?
All right. So far
I said it 3 times.
We've given 1 of the 5.
I know.
Okay. So
that's what I'm saying. We got to
get to 2.
All right. Anyway, that's good. All that's good stuff for prospecting, but it's important, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to number 2.
Which is?
All right. Email marketing. Now, email marketing.
And this is something everybody's comfortable with.
Yes.
Because it's in the distant.
But they need to have a system. They need to have a system that will allow them to blast out, messaging to, thousands of their clients throughout their region or nationally. And they need to, and the messaging needs to be right. It needs to be concise.
Well, I think that's where we should stick. Let's stick on that, fella, because everybody can just get an automated email system. There's a million out there.
Yeah, let's just say that.
Okay. So everybody has that. They know that. But what's the difference between an email getting to the decision maker and having them respond and an email that they delete immediately?
Okay. It has to look like it's actually coming from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
As my dad used to say, "Du ligt de hint by gruben." No idea what it means, but every time he found something, he would say, "Du ligt de hint by gruben."
I love it.
Maybe somebody, if there's anybody who speaks Yiddish out there, maybe they can tell me.
I'm sure they probably already put it down there. It's already down there.
So yeah, so you need so it needs to come from at least appear that it comes from an individual box and not from a mass mail. Almost like, you know, the mail that you get in the mail.
Yes.
If it has you know, just one of those regular stamps that the post office can do automatically,
Right.
it's less important than if it's a real stamp on there that a human being put on there.
That's right.
So they know it's coming from a person.
That's right.
Got it.
Okay.
And then what about the messaging?
The messaging has to be short, sweet, concise, and to the point.
And with the same kind of message that you give on the cold call.
That's right.
Hello, this is.
Yep.
This is what we do. Here's an offer.
Yep.
Are interested? Yes or no?
That's it. And that's it. I mean, I get these things on LinkedIn. Oh, you know, I connected with you on LinkedIn, and here's a bio of me, and here's a bio of my company, and it's like 16 pages long. Like if I were to print this thing,
Single. It's not even. I can't read it.
I can't read it. I read the first 2 lines, and I'm like, nah, I don't even know if I want to accept this guy's, you know, invitation. I mean, it's that bad, and you know that what we call that in our world is throwing up on the prospect. I mean, that's what we call it. I mean, you are literally just throwing everything that you can on the wall in hopes that one little thing in there is important. You know, what are we really trying to do? We're trying to talk about our value proposition, whether or not this person has the compelling reason to buy our product or service or engage with us in some way to purchase our product and service. And if they don't, no is okay. Then trash it. I don't care. You know, it's going out to you and thousands of other people, and maybe there's someone in there that has a compelling reason to purchase our product or service. And the only way to get to that is to have a very, very succinct message that talks about, you know, this is where we're, you know, this is what we're doing. This is where we're at.
But Crispin, Cruz, I don't want to send all those emails out because then people are going to think that I'm a mean, nasty prospector.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what happened. Yeah, people are afraid to press send.
Come on, man.
Would I lie to you after all we've been through?
I don't know. Maybe, but okay. Well, then if you then let's not do anything to grow your business. I mean, then let's not.
Yeah, you got to be willing to put it. I mean, if it's painful a little bit, if it's uncomfortable, you know you're doing something right.
That's right. I love it.
You know, so there you go. So if you're not falling on your face and being embarrassed every once in a while, you're not trying hard enough.
I agree.
You're playing it too safe.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Enough on that one.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about referrals. I'm going to let you talk about referrals. Sometimes we poo-poo that, but you know, because we make fun of companies that say when we ask them, well, how have you grown your business? They say, well, we've grown our business through referrals.
Well, that's because, and I learned this from you. The first time you talk to anybody, whatever comes out of their mouth is a lie. And so when you ask them, how do you get... So let me ask you.
Prospects lie, and they lie all the time.
So
that's right.
This is my line. When I say, are you interested in blah, 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 and they say no, I say, great. Well, let me ask you. When you are trying to grow your business, what's been successful for you in the past? Because I'm prepared for that.
Right.
I'm prepared for them to say no.
Right, of course.
And I'm going to have a response. Oh, by the way, going back to cold calling, with prospecting that way, about 80% of the time you're going to get voicemail.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared with a voicemail script,
right?
Are you out your mind?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You know for a fact you're going to get it. Write yourself a voicemail script. If it's different every time, you're out your mind. It's crazy.
That's right.
So do that.
Okay.
So, what are we talking about?
Referrals.
Yes.
Your favorite.
I actually do love referrals.
I do love them too.
And it is the cheapest, most effective, and the fastest way for you to get new business if it's planned.
Ooh, that little word. My father used to say, "If" is the smallest little word, and it's the hardest one in the English language in the dictionary.
Really?
Yeah.
For my wife, the hardest word is yes. Okay, but anyway, so if it's planned, however,
right,
it's unbelievable. But it takes a creative mind to use it the right way.
Right.
People think that their product is so great and you're so new, and it's like, by the way, there's nothing new anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's not like someone's going to come to you and say, you know, new thing. Insurance. Have you ever heard of this? I mean, it's crazy. They come here and if you die, they pay. I mean, Everybody knows about insurance. You don't have the greatest insurance thing anymore, all right? So you're not going to do that. So why, it's say, listen, give me, or like 20%. 20% is a number. Listen, give me any referrals, anything you want to give me, we'll give you 20%.
Right.
And now you have, and you think you're going to tell to everybody and they're just going to give you referral. Listen, the 20% means nothing to them. That's not good enough. It's not enticing enough.
Right.
Give something. So, you have to work on your offer.
Yeah.
And then you have to give something to get referrals. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
If you have a let's say a sales consulting company.
Right.
Okay? And you want to get more business.
We happen to have one, by the way.
Oh my gosh. And you want to get more business.
Right.
Why not give and you have a friend that has a tax consulting service. Okay? And this tax consultant has tons of clients that they have.
Right.
And he can offer, why don't you write a letter and you say, I will offer all your customers an hour free or whatever kind of great program you have, and have them send it out to all their customers, and you do the same for them. So you take all your customers, you send out a list and a letter offering the other person's services to all your people. And you trade back and forth. If you get one or two clients, you're in the house and it costs you nothing.
That's it.
And the tax accountant is giving something good to their friends, and you could word it like this. Because you've been such a good client over these years, I've bought for you, at no expense for you, a $500 gift certificate with this tax accountant. Normally charge $500 for this, for you to go over all your business needs for him with this thing.
Awesome. I love it. And
so,
then they could do the same thing.
And they do the same thing
Yeah.
to you, and it's back and forth. And you can do a tons of. You can give a coupon from a restaurant. The restaurant will gladly give you a coupon. I'm going to send this out to all my clients because you've been such great clients. I want to send you this $25 off coupon at this particular restaurant.
Love it.
They're happy as a clam. So if you do it, if you plan it properly and you do it right, it's the best and quickest way for everybody to gain goodwill and get more customers.
I got to ask you though. This is a really serious question.
Really serious.
I mean, why does everybody think clams are happy? Like, I don't understand that,
Did I say happy as a clam?
You did. Yeah. But I'm just wondering, is there something about a clam that's typically happy? I mean, are clams...
Because really they do nothing. They just sit there like a clam and wait for the ocean to take them in any direction.
So, but is that happiness? Is that truly true happiness?
But if you look at a clam before you open it to eat it, it looks like it's smiling.
I'm happy when I open the clam and there's a pearl in there.
Do you like clams?
And there's a pearl.
Do you like raw clams?
Yeah, I like clams. Yeah, I like
put
seafood.
hot sauce on them?
Yeah, a little bit of hot sauce. Delicious. Yeah. But I'm just wondering, why does everybody think clams are happy? I don't understand.
I like clams better than oysters.
Really? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I just was wondering about that. Okay. So, all right. Lead gen tools. Now, this one I will take because, you need to spend a little time, looking in your industry for those companies that may serve up leads to you. Okay. There's a lot of companies out there that do this, right? One is in the cleaning service, right? And for cleaning companies throughout the nation, right? You can sign up with this organization that will actually feed leads to your company that are people that are looking to purchase, your product or service at that moment in time.
I got to ask you this because there's so many of these companies that will serve up leads to you, and they really do.
Yeah.
And I have a reason why in my head, but why do you think most people won't spend the money to get those leads?
I think that it's hard for me because I think they don't spend the money because they look at the cost per lead as being high, which it typically is, because these companies are going out there, they're marketing, they're putting up web pages, they're buying Google keywords, they're doing all this stuff
that you don't have to.
But the cost per lead is high,
right?
And they've tried it, like they've thrown like a $500 at it or $1,000 a month, and they never really got anything out of it. But it's because that they don't have the sense of urgency. Here's the thing. you have to realize a lot of these organizations, when they actually serve this lead up to you, they're not only serving it up to you, they're serving it up to 2 of your competitors at the same time. So they're charging you and they're charging 2 other competitors for that same lead. So what does that mean? That means when you get the lead, you have to drop everything that you're doing and call them right away. And if you call that lead within the first 2 minutes of it coming in, I mean, a lot of times they're still on their computer saying, oh my goodness, it's like magic. They're like, how did you get to me that quickly? I mean, they're still looking for services, going to maybe another site or going to look somewhere else. So you have to be right on those. You have to be actionable, because here's the thing. If your prospect is filling out a form saying, I want your product or service and I want to talk about it, then they're what we call they're in their buy cycle. And if the prospect is in their buy cycle, then you need to contact them right at that moment. It has to happen almost immediately. And if you're not going to you're not going to treat those leads with that sense of urgency, I guarantee you the other 2 people that are in the other 2 companies that are in that pool are going to do it. So you got to, when you install a program like that, then you better also install the right process for the sales people of your organization or for yourself, that every time one of those comes in, you get on it right away.
That's it. The reason why people won't invest the money into a good lead providing service is because they're not confident that they can close when they get the leads. And it will be a waste of money for them because they don't have the system to close those leads that they get in. If they did, it doesn't matter.
Right.
By the way, I just put air in the tires of my bicycle this weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah, for the first time.
Oh, that's good. You haven't ridden the bicycle for a while?
I haven't ridden the bicycle
Well,
in a while.
that's good. Well, I'm glad you did that.
But yeah, that's exactly right. If somebody's confident that they have that system and they have a good way to close those leads, then it doesn't matter what they cost.
Right.
It really doesn't matter. When I had a lawn care company years ago, and I knew that through all my marketing efforts, it cost about $100 a customer. And we would send out a lot of postcards.
That's a lot of money.
Thousands of dollars of postcards. Yeah, every customer was worth about $500. So it cost me $100 to get $500 for a year, but then I'd keep the customer over many years, and so it wasn't a problem. So I realized once you know that price, once you know that cost, then it's just it's a math equation. So if I could get a customer for less than $100, it was a deal.
Gold.
So you know what I would do?
Tell me.
Areas that I wanted within a subdivision or something like a street or something like that, I would myself and I'd take a bunch of guys. We'd knock on doors for people.
No,
and not just actually knock on doors. If you sign up today, I will give you $20.
No,
and I had $20 bills. Everybody had $20 bills. If you sign up today for no other reason, and I will give you $20.
Wow. And
so here I was getting customers for $20. Instead of $100.
Unbelievable.
Because I knew what it was. And if I didn't close them, then I didn't have to pay the money. So, and did some people cancel? Yeah. Did I lose $20 on a few people? Yeah.
Wow.
But ultimately, after I did, that method, each customer was costing me $50 instead of $20.
Unbelievable.
And so once you know that, so you got to get good with your closing. Be comfortable on how to do that. And really, I've learned that from you.
Come on.
Yeah, I've learned that from you because, people always say, you ask them, how's your closing ratio? And they say, oh, it's great, 80%. If I can get in front of them, it's 80%. Well, if that were the case, pay a lead service and you'll just keep upping it. But it's not true. It's really, most people's sales closing ratio is really more like 20%.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And they have really big pipelines.
Yeah.
Which means their pipeline is filled with non-buyers.
Right.
I want people
with garbage. Yeah, I like when you say garbage.
A bunch of garbage.
A bunch of garbage.
You need to have smaller pipelines.
Yes.
And more people in the true buy cycle.
That's it.
Boom.
And make sure that you oil, the chain on your buy cycle.
Oh, look at
make
you.
Sure you oil.
You're putting it all together.
Yeah, I put it together now.
That's good.
I like it. Okay, last one.
Yes.
Landing pages. So here's another. here's another thing that we should be doing as business owners, operators. We should be building landing pages. We should be connecting those to our website. We should make sure that the landing page has a call to action. All of these things are important because the more information and especially digital information that you have out there, the more of these landing pages that you have out there that people can find when they're looking for your business online. Really important. Like those, if we put 100 out there, put 100 out there. In some financial companies, especially lenders, and others like that, they have built a whole business on building landing pages, the right call to action. If you're looking for a loan, fill this little form out. When that form gets sent to you or gets sent to you through email or whatever the trigger mechanism, it goes to your CRM, whatever that looks like, then who's ever in charge, whoever the sales leadership, whether it's you, the owner, or the team that you have, be actionable.
I just think it's funny how excited we both can get about talking about landing page. I mean, it's like crazy.
I know, right?
People are into so people that are into sales are kind of into it. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's sales and marketing. By the way, this is more marketing than it is sales. But with the proper landing page, there's no excuse now not to have them and not be. You can get ClickFunnels. You can get there's a bunch of different sources out there that you could build these things literally in minutes. And you don't need a lot of different landing pages. You just need different. This works in concert with your email marketing. And so basically you just say, hey, if you're interested in this, click here. And it goes over to a landing page. And the landing page could be a video of you explaining exactly about your product. And so when they actually fill out that form, they're already way down the buy cycle than they are just someone just inquiring about
That's
the thing.
right.
And so it's just much easier. And this is for even individual salespeople. In this day and age, there's no reason for you not to take charge of your own career.
That's right.
An individual salesperson, you can get your own ClickFunnels account. You can get your own automated email account.
Yep.
You can get your own business cards. Everything's cheap and everything's out there right now. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you're almost like an independent operator, and you just got to find the product. Yep. And the product might be the company you're working for right now, or if you're in business for yourself, something else. But a business owner in today's world doesn't necessarily need to know how to do all this, right. But they need to know that it's easy to do all this and they can pay somebody to do it.
That's right.
And we got to get it set up that way. So they need to keep on growing their business.
That I believe it. So that's the 5.
That's it. So let's repeat them. What are they?
Okay. So we talked about prospecting.
Yes.
We talked about referrals. We talked about email marketing, lead gen tools in your specific market vertical, and then also landing pages. So that's what we talked about. Now here's one thing that I'd like to say. Yeah, there's going to be, I don't know, maybe let's make it up, a few hundred people. We'd like to say a few thousand. Who knows? That actually listen to this podcast, right? Or watch it.
There are going to be people tomorrow in Bangladesh
that are watching this that are going to be,
right.
tagging it.
Kazakhstan.
So, but here's the thing. Top 2% is what I want to close with. Top 2%. Now, if you're listening or you're watching this podcast, do you want to be the top 2% in your industry? Because a lot of people will listen to this thing and they'll say, you know what, these guys might have something. Those are some good ideas. I like it a lot. But will they actually do it? Will they be actionable and take a stand today to do some of these things? Now I will challenge our audience and say 98% of the audience will say, yeah, these guys are pretty good, but I'm not going to do any of it. In their heart of hearts, they're just not going to do it. I mean, they're not going to do what we talked about. And for whatever reason, with excuse making, whatever that looks like. Okay. Do you want to be the top 2% that actually, takes a stake and sticks it in the ground today and says, you know what, I'm going to try some of these and see how they work. I'm going to actually take a chance and invest in some of this stuff to try and grow my business. I am going to be actionable and I'm going to start today. That's the top 2%.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was a long time ago. I was on a I must have been some conference or somebody, and I don't remember anything about the conference, but I remember this. It was somebody talking. It was a marketing conference, and the guy went up there and talked, and he said 3 words. He said, "Most people won't." That was it. Most people won't click on your link. Most people won't open your email. Most people won't fill out the form. Most people won't want to pay. Most people won't. But some do. Some do. And so you just gotta, and most people won't make the effort to create an email campaign. Most people won't to get over the problem of their own moral dilemma of cold calling. Most people won't. And that's when they come up with the excuses that it doesn't work.
Right.
Because they won't do it, and so it doesn't work.
Right.
But ultimately, and this one isn't from me, this is from Jeffrey Gitomer. He said, most people aren't willing to do the hard work it takes to make success easy.
I love it. I can't even.
Yeah, that's a drop the mic moment.
It is
there.
right there. I mean, if we could drop these mics are expensive, but if we could drop these, I'd drop it right now. I'd drop it. I would probably spike. I call it a spike the mic moment. I would spike it, not drop it, even though they don't allow that in the NFL anymore.
All right, Spike. I've had enough of you. This has been great.
It's been great.
We got to do this again.
Let's do it soon.
Go get them today.
Thanks.